What's up, TikTok? Just wanted to get on for a second and talk about something that we didn't see a lot of information on last year when we were getting started, and just thought I'd share what we kind of found. It's about pig whips. So, there may be a bunch of people out there say, well, a pig whip's a pig whip, and maybe that's true, but we definitely see some differences in how they walk depending on what whip is out there. You can definitely go to your local farm store, Tractor Supply, Atwoods, you name it. They have them. A lot of times they're labeled as dressage whips or just a whip. But I was just going to show you what we did. We actually have bought a few of these now. And what we started with was these Weaver basic whips. They're $12 to $14 somewhere in there. And it's a basic braided handle, so nothing fancy. It's a flexible shaft with a little popper on the end, and I'm not 100% sure how they tie that in, if they melt it. I kind of think they melt it on there. And they work. I mean, they work real good, to be honest. The gilt that we have now, I'll show you a few of the whips we've tried on her, and she responds the best to these. But they do break. So here's one that the little popper broke off of last year, and another one that I've kind of modified and the popper broke off of, but I'm going to play with it again this afternoon. So this is what we started with. We had some hard-headed barrows last year and ended up investing in some of these stinger whips. So they have a process. They add these little nodules to them. I don't know if that's coming through real clear, but they add these little nodules to them and worked really well. It definitely was a game changer for us in walking those pigs. Something I think that it also did is thickening this piece up here with the 2 layers of heat shrink like they do. It just gives it's more of a thunk than a little pop. Like that whips around and catches them. This has more pop to it, but it also doesn't whip around and mark them up as bad. So some of these light color hogs, man, you see them when they come out of a fair ring, and you can see some whip marks on them. And then even our Hereford last year, if you were trying to get him to get the go button, tap him right there, right in front of his back hip, and get him going, you could whip up his belly a little bit and you'd see it. Not that it hurts him. I mean, it's not a I mean, you see me smacking myself, right? Like, it's not a big deal. They're light skinned. But these are stinger whips, stinger show sticks, I think is what they are. You can get them on Facebook. You can get them a couple different places. I've made my own now, kind of playing with them. So that's one option. And then when we had those break, we looked at Weaver again, and they have some replaceable poppers too. These have a little loop through the end of them, and they have a tassel that just loops through it and pulls tight. We were real excited about these. They've got a rubber handle. I don't think the handle matters that much. This is not something that you're going to be working at for 8 hours a day, or at least in our situation, you're not. So, but the problem with these is they only come in a 39-inch whip. All of these whips you can get measured at different lengths. This one's a 39. That means from the tip of the handle to where the popper connects is 39 inches. And then you add another, that's I think about a 5-inch popper. Same thing with these basic ones. When they say this one's a 36. So it's 36 inches from this tip of the handle down to this popper. So if you have a shorter kid, like I've got a 10-year-old, he's not real tall, and you put the 36 in his hand and it's long, a 39, and he couldn't even run it. Couldn't run it where he needs to. Couldn't be on the side of the pig. He'd have to be way behind it or choked way up on it. We tried the 39 for my 13-year-old who's a little taller, and even with him choking way up like this, it just was awkward. So we're probably going to go back to some 32-inch, 36-inch, and I'm going to try to fix some of these that it's broken off of with a little piece of paracord that I've melted the end on. I'm going to run it through some heat shrink over that. Use this marine grade heat shrink you can get at Harbor Freight. It's got adhesive built into it, so it'll hold really well. And then cut me about 4 inches off, and I'll probably use just some regular heat shrink to run over that and stiffen it up, put a little ball on the end, and then this whip's back in action, right? Like, it's not $14 that you're just throwing in the trash that you've got to replace every year. So, sorry, I keep looking down all these whips trying to think if there's something I haven't covered. There's a ton of whips out there. Weaver has probably one of the best prices on them. Sullivan Supply has some really good ones. They have a list. They have different flexibilities and different features, I guess you would say. Some have replaceable, some have little tassels, some have little leather forks on them. And I will say different pigs respond differently to different whips. So we started out using the Stinger whips because that's what we had in the shorter length for this little Tamworth gilt. And last night I dug out, I found that I had one of these basic whips that wasn't tore up, and I tried it, and it was night and day difference. She drives so well with it. Just takes little bitty taps, and I mean you're not having to really put screws to them. And now some of these pigs will be hard headed, and you got to kind of get in there and get on them. And that's where your Stinger whips come in. So just wanted to share some of that information, some resources where you could go get them, and maybe some ways to extend the life out of them. Like I said, I'm going to try to fix this one this afternoon and see how it goes. We'll try to walk her with it this evening, and let me know what whips you use. Something you might have found. I know you said they used canes back in the day. Nothing I've ever been a part of, but they've used canes. Some people, you'll see them walking big pigs with like PVC pipe, and they call it just a pipe. That would be what this is similar to. It's got a little flex to it, but you could use it kind of like a pipe. Once you get them broke, they really shouldn't need a whole lot of attention driving, but some of them are just hard-headed. So let me know in the comments, what do you use? Is there something you found that works better than others? A way that you see to extend the life? I know if you reinforce these little basic ones with a little extra heat shrink, which we didn't do last year and we're going to do this year, then it'll help extend that life. So that's something we're going to do. And yeah, like, follow, let me know in the comments what kind of whips you use.